In this section, we're going to cover our notifications functionality. One of the things we thought a lot about when building an application that tells you who visited when in real time is how do we let you know that someone has visited. Now, obviously, you can come in here and see the information through the application on a PC or smartphone. But what if you're at the other end of the building and a visitor arrives who's there to see you? How do we let you know that that's the case? So we've got two options in here. I'm going to demonstrate them on my smartphone and also through my Gmail account. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check in to visit Steve again. And what you'll see over here is a notification. So if I come back in and I'm Bob again, and it knows who I am because I've been here before. I say who Bob's working for and who's he visiting. He's visiting Steve. So I select Steve. Again, I go through the health and safety questions if need be with Bob or not, as the case may be, and I ask him some questions. Now, we've got some important questions in here, so if I'm going to put in here that he's meeting with Steve and he's met the criteria for the health and safety policy, but he also said that he'd been feeling unwell in the last 14 days, and I may need to know that. So not only do I want to know that Bob's here, but I may also want to know that Bob has actually not been very well. So now when Bob checks in, as is the case, you'll notice up here that I get an instant message on my phone that's saying that Bob Bobson from Dave and Bob's Burgers just checked in. And if I go into the Telegram app, I can see the information here on the screen. So it shows me here that Bob's here. It's addressed to me because I'm the person that he's meeting. But it's also let me know that he said yes to the question about being unwell. Now, I may or may not want to do something about that. Now, obviously, the question here is relevant to COVID, but this could be any question that the visitor has said yes to. So it might have been a question around, have you got your personal protective equipment? And he says no, and then I get notified that someone's turned up on site without their PPE. It really depends on what you want to be told. So this is instant on my phone, and I can go back and access this at any time and check the information historically. So this is unique to me because I've been set up as Steve as being the host in this particular environment, and I've said that I want to be notified when people visit me and I want to know the answer to the question. The other place I'll get that, so if I'm at my desk and I don't have my phone handy, I'll also get an email from the system saying the same thing. So here it says, Steve, your visitor Bob from Bob's Burgers has just checked in and he answered yes to a question about being ill in the last 14 days. So that's an instant email and an instant message, which will give you the notification that you need that something's going on or someone has arrived to your site. And that can be turned on or off depending on how you want to use it. But we've decided that having that sort of instant notification, especially for clients with large plants or in multiple sites. So you may also want to have a situation where you want to know that when one of your staff or a visitor has arrived at one of your building sites. So the same thing, you can turn that on so that when that particular person checks into your building site or your office or your boardroom or a building somewhere else, you'll get a notification to let you know that they've arrived, which is important for a variety of reasons, from health and safety or also to managing staff. So hopefully that will be helpful. Now, if you're interested in using the Telegram functionality, we'll discuss that with you individually because there's a very short setup process with that. The Telegram instant messaging app, which sits on a smartphone, so iOS or Android, is free, so there's no charge, and that's the reason we've used this, because if we use text messaging, so we could send you a text message, but text messages will cost you 10 cents every time someone does something, and you have no control over that cost. We've also looked at using things like WhatsApp and other messaging tools, but they all incur a charge if they're used commercially, whereas Telegram, we can use it at no cost, and then you've got that information to go back to whenever it suits you to go back and check the answers that someone gave you when they checked in. So hopefully you'll find that useful as well.